Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is the Piracy Show. Now, last couple of shows we've been dealing with stealth, security, things like that, and kind of dealing with crime stat rating, and of course, dealing with all the little bugs that are, throughout the 3.0 PTU. And of course, we are going to see some more of those bugs here today. But there was one comment kind of asking the question, what value is there to a pirate career with things like bounty hunters and whatnot? Is there really money to be made being a pirate? I guess is more or less what the person was aiming for. And I kind of wanted to address that because even though, we kind of we shut down a satellite, we did gain crime stat rating, but we weren't, I guess, officially detected, so we were able to slip away, and we were able to do this repeatedly. Using various ships, we used a Cutlass as well to activate stealth mode, get in, shut down the satellite, get out. And apart from the crime stat rating, no real penalty was paid. Now we've also seen interdiction mechanics. So we've seen that you can now, at least in some fashion, ships can be pulled out of quantum or warp. I like to say warp. It's, Star Trek. It's what we're used to. So you can pull a ship out of warp. Now we're not sure exactly how that's going to work. Is there a specific device that we're going to need to use to do it, or is it going to be maybe something related to a specific ship or a variant or a module? We don't know. But we do know that they're thinking that direction, that there is going to be a system like that that comes into play sooner or later. Now, overall, what does that mean? Well, if you're a pirate and you're going into the game and you're just thinking, pew, 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 I'm just going to shoot up a bunch of shit, I'm going to own a whole bunch of people, and I'm going to be a badass, and that's how it's all going to work, probably not, a career that you may survive in, but probably not one that you're going to thrive in. Now, some player might say, hey, that's fine. Let's say you've discussed elaborate plans. Well, let's say you go to a satellite, you shut down the comm link, and then you've got your group of friends, your pirates, and you've got whatever interdiction device you need to bring a ship out of warp and trap it, take its cargo. You've got a herald there too to, block a distressed transmission so you can get the work done. You can strip the cargo, maybe take away parts of the ship. You've got a reclaimer. You're doing all this stuff. You describe these very sophisticated plans, but some of these things might change. But even if they do stay the way you're talking about them, it takes a lot to do that. Can a pirate player, just an average person who wants to play a pirate, can they survive and thrive within the systems that we're either starting to see or the systems that are being described to us that we have yet to see? And I think that it's there because remember, you're creating kind of a living, breathing economy within the game, right? Let's say that plan does go off. Okay, let's say a Hull E gets dropped out of warp. There's all, the perfect setup is there. It gets stripped of its cargo. The ship itself gets scrapped right in space. They haul away all the parts. They go back to Grim Hex. They put them all up on the market to sell. Yay, they win. The big pirate org wins. What for you, the average player? How does that work for you? Well, let's say that you base out of Grim Hex. All of a sudden, you're there. You're thinking, okay, hey, I don't have a whole org. Maybe I don't trust these other orgs. Maybe I'm just the type of player who likes to work on his own schedule, and so I can't always get together with other people, but I do want to pirate. How can I, at least somehow get my foot in that criminal lifestyle door and do those sorts of things? Well, take Grim Hex, for instance. Grim Hex is going to be a hub for many pirate players doing piratical things. So there's probably going to be a lot of goods on the market in Grim Hex that you can purchase. So here you are in Grim Hex. You're looking around and you see, oh, here's some medical supplies. Perhaps these medical supplies arrived, on a ship that had pilfered them from another ship. So they're here, they're at a discount, you can purchase them. Now, originally when I wanted to do this video, I was looking for some of the Vice items that you can buy, but unfortunately it seems that they've all been removed from the market right now. I don't know, for testing reasons, but neither here nor there. So we've got our load of medical supplies, which came to Grim Hex through whatever means. You're just an average player working on your own. So what can we do with them? Well, we can possibly take them to another place where they will sell for a lot more money and make a profit that way. Now we're not strictly doing piracy, we're actually smuggling. Or we would be if the elevator hadn't just killed us because of a bug. So let's try that again. So here we are, headed to our Cutlass, which is now filled with medical supplies, which came to this market through various or nefarious means. We're going to take them to Levski and we're going to sell them on. Now, maybe these aren't medical supplies. Maybe these could be any number of things. Maybe there's players in the area running a drug ring, and those are simply labeled as medical supplies, but they're something else. Now, that's a mechanic that we know is going to be in Star Citizen, and a mechanic that is technically in the game right now, sort of, because if you do buy drugs at Grim Hex, when you see them on your ship, they are labeled as medical supplies. So it's something that is in the game. CIG has talked about it, and something that will hopefully be a lot more fleshed out in the future. So now we've got whatever, our illegal goods. We're going to go to Levski and we're going to sell them. So here we are. We're about to come up to Levski, but just because you want to be a pirate, or let's be more broad, let's say just because you want to be a criminal, even if you don't have, you know, a lot of ships, or you're not a member of a big org, there's still going to be plenty of areas where you can make money. You could possibly enter into an agreement with a pirate organization to say, hey, I'll purchase whatever you get. I'll buy it off of you at a certain discount, and I'll go fence those goods for you for my own personal profit. And if you become really good at smuggling, like let's say here we've, you know, put our ship into stealth mode while we're making our approach to Levski, maybe that's an area you want to be more focused in as a single player. And the fact is, like, all these things that we're talking about, comm links, interdiction, stealth mode, all these things that we've been kind of playing with the last few days, it all speaks to a very rich system that doesn't make it just like a face value, oh, you're a criminal, everyone come and get this guy, kill him. There's plenty of mechanics in place to allow you to move around in the universe without being detected, to allow you to not advertise your location to everyone around you or to your ID. There are plenty of ways being built into the game to allow you to slip around and do things at a very sneaky level. Now, if you're thinking about going around, you know, guns blazing and just shooting up everyone you see and like, I'm a pirate, probably not a good idea. But if you're willing to be kind of smart about it and sneaky and careful, then you can probably get away with it and make a fair amount of money doing it. And I think that in and of itself, that kind of sophisticated gameplay, that kind of secretive, you know, cloak and dagger type gameplay is really, it's kind of what makes the criminal lifestyle worth playing. You know, it's just going around and shooting things up. Who cares? I mean, you could go do that fighting the Vanduul. Big deal. It's that kind of moving around in the shadows. That's where I think the real fun in the criminal system is, and the fact that they're building so many ways into the game that you can do that, and so many ways that you can explore in the game on that side of things, on that illegal side of things. I think it speaks very well to that part of how they're designing it. I'm not so much worried about like, ooh, like CIG makes the Hawk, it's a bounty hunter ship. Or like I'm not afraid of it. There's so much in the game that, you know, so many hurdles that you would have to jump over before you get to the point of actually capturing someone and putting them in the back of a Hawk. And there are so many different systems in the game that allow you to elude someone like that, that I'm not really overly concerned. And We don't know how difficult it's going to be to erase crime stat rating. It may be very difficult, it may not be. Maybe you can make a living doing that for other players. Who knows? That's something that hasn't been quite fleshed out yet. Maybe you have to do it for yourself, or maybe you can get someone else to do it for you. That's possibly another career for hackers, or something that another service that hackers can render. But if you can do something like that, then the person who's out there who's bounty hunting you isn't a bounty hunter anymore. If you're a quote unquote legitimate citizen, then what they're doing isn't bounty hunting, it's kidnapping, and then they're the criminal. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not overly worried, that, oh, they're making a police version of the Cutlass, or they're making a bounty hunter ship. Big deal. There's still so many steps to overcome to take someone prisoner, and so many possible complications to that, just having the ship out there, it's not a threat. It's as much as a threat as having guns in the gun shop or armor in the armor shop, Just because they're there doesn't mean that they're just going to take you out. There's so many steps that someone has to take before they can actually get to that point, that if you're being smart and you're being careful about it, I don't think that it's really going to be that much of a problem. It may be for a less sophisticated player, but for someone who's being smart and being careful, probably not that big of a problem. When you look at a lot of the things that are described to us, like whenever we watch these big interviews with Chris Roberts or Tony Zurovec or all these guys, and they're talking about the economy. Oh, if factory on planet B all of a sudden needs more iron, it's going to generate missions and say, okay, deliver iron here, or the iron price will go up and players will make more money trading it there. The same is true of the pirate side of the economy, but in the pirate side, it might be more under a player's control. Like if we use Grim Hex as an example, several pirate orgs might be operating out of there, out of smaller ships, and they might bring in all kinds of loads of cargo from the ships that they've taken down, or components, whatever, and they just put them on the market there and just let other people sell them on or move them off and fence them here, there, or everywhere, while they go back out and look to make the next score, right? And so there's kind of like an economy kind of spawns from that kind of organically. Some players might look at it and say, okay, well, now I've got this load of illegal components that I purchased on Grim Hex, and now I'm going to go sell it somewhere else. Maybe it's something that I need to go through a special process to fence it, or maybe it's something that I can just go take to Levski or Terra or wherever, ArcCorp, and just drop it off and sell it. But who knows? And it can be all kinds of things. It can be just regular commodities too. Let's say someone down on Yella has purchased a plot of land, and it's a medical supply factory that grows organic herbal remedies, but it's really just a space weed plant. And they're all they do is or space weed farm, sorry. And they're just growing tons and tons of space weed. They take it up to Grim Hex, and they just put it on the market there, and then it's up to the players to kind of go around and say, okay, well, I'm going to purchase it here at a discount, and then I'm going to sell it on, because, yeah, maybe as a legitimate player, I can make like 1,000 alpha UEC every 20 minutes hauling iron from this place to that place, but maybe I can make 10,000 or 20,000 or more hauling something like space weed or space cocaine, There's a whole way that this economy can come to life and create plenty of opportunities for pirates, and there's all these mechanics within the game that allow you to kind of sneak around and to do things on the DL without getting caught. So I think that overall, like, they're putting a good system in place to facilitate these types of operations. This is one of the things that I just heap praise on, and it's really great. I mean, it would be better if it were actually working right now, because it would make the video look a lot better if it ended on that note. But unfortunately, early access gaming, has its pitfalls, and here's one of them. But in the end, once everything is up and running and working the way it should be, yeah, there's going to be plenty of opportunities there, I think, for Pirates. And I think Pirate gameplay is going to evolve in a really cool way. I think it is, one of the reasons why I'm into it is like just kind of watching how that economy is going to evolve and how how that whole side of the economy is going to get built up just off of mainly the actions of players and not so much influenced by NPC factories and whatnot. I'm hoping it's going to kind of turn out that way. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, yeah, I think that for people who want to play the criminal side of Star Citizen, I think the future will be great. A lot of the systems I've seen put in place, I can see a lot of